What is up, fam? What's going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. Second live stream. We made it. And I got a little new decorations. Doing the popcorn thing. Want to welcome everybody in. Hope everyone's doing well. I just saw my daughter in her play at her middle school, and she was Mrs. Gulch from The Wizard of Oz. So that was kind of cool. So, and my daughter crushed it. She beat Elphaba easily. What's up, guys? Welcome in. My name is Michael, Movie Magic Michael. This is my second ever YouTube live stream. Chat's open. I'm gonna drop a poll right now. I want to drop a poll. I want to get the chat going. I'm starting a poll right now. Doing best 80s movie. Doing best 80s movie right now. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. All right, I'm starting a poll right now. Let's see if people are into it. Guys, drop comments, chats. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. It's my second ever poll. My second ever chat. And I'm going all in on YouTube. YouTube is my everything. It's my number 1, 2, and 3. So hopefully we're going to get a lot of people into the mix tonight. We're going to get a lot of people into the chat. Let's put my phone on Do Not Disturb, because when you tell people do not call me going live, they always call. So how's everybody's weekend going? It's good? Everyone having a good weekend? What's everybody watching this weekend? Very curious to know. We had a couple people in the chat before, and we're getting more people in right now. What is going on, guys? My name is Michael, Movie Magic Michael. It's my second ever live stream. Curious to know. I watched Eyes Wide Shut last night. Again, I showed it to my son for the first time, and he was blown away. He was blown away, and he nailed it, because he said it wasn't the best movie. And he was right, but it was so symbolic, all the different symbolism in Eyes Wide Shut. So he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. I love that I showed it to him, that I was able to show him an actual Kubrick film. And we watched what do we watch? We watched Full Metal Jacket in the past. I use that as more of a punishment for him than an actual like viewing experience. But last night was Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, I've seen that movie a couple hundred times. I mean, maybe not a couple hundred. I've seen the movie a lot, dozens of times. Dozens. And and that was his first real Kubrick experience, my son. I feel like that's like, you gotta kind of open it up. Clockwork Orange is a little too boring for kids. And when I say kids, my son is 17. And to him, for Eyes Wide, guys, welcome in. My name is Michael. Drop anything you want in the chat. Guys, I dropped a poll. Curious to know what your favorite 80s movies is. I just dropped Goonies and Gremlins. All right. Everybody would probably know what mine is, because I used to go by the name of Mikey when I was a kid. I love the name Mikey. But guys, drop anything you want in the chat. This is Michael's Movie Hangout. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. You should be able to hear me. I think my mic does work, but I've got some little fuzzies on my mic because I'm moving. If anyone hasn't known that, I'm out of here. I'm leaving New York. So guys, drop anything you want in the chat. Questions, comments, movie commentary. What movies are you guys watching this weekend? What are you guys watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide again last night, and I found 20 more things that I didn't realize before. If you can actually believe it. Right? If you can believe that there was 20 more things that, you don't experience in Eyes Wide Shut. So do I let my social media fam that I'm going live right now? You think people will join us? I certainly hope so. Interesting. So I'm curious to know, what is everyone watching this weekend? What's everyone watching this weekend? Drop your comments down below, guys. It's my second time chatting. This is my second live stream on Instagram, and I'm really, really excited. I dropped a poll down below. I'm going to have polls for the next hour, and would love to hear what everyone says. What's everyone watching this weekend? Is it Gremlins or Goonies? Top 80s, or top adventure 80s? Is Gremlins considered like an adventure movie? I feel like they're trying to make something into Gremlins again, and I have a whole pitch for Gremlins. I love Gremlins. Such a great classic movie. So deep in like a cult lore, you know. Waiting for more people to get into the mix. Gremlins or Goonies, guys? What do you think? What is the movie? What is it? What top 80s? And if there's another 80s movie that you guys want me to look into, let me know, right? When I think of the 80s, I think of like Gremlins, Goonies, Back to the Future. You know, are there other 80s movies? Yeah. Drop it in the comments. Let me know. Right now, Gremlins and Goonies came off the top of my head. Guys, jump in the chat. Let me know what you think about my poll right there. And if what are you guys watching this weekend? What's everybody watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide Shut again last night, and I noticed 20 new things that never saw before. Didn't have a clue. Didn't have an idea. I guess I'll promote that I'm live right now, right? I'm going to tell everybody I'm live right now on my Instagram. How would I do that? I can't believe no one's voted yet. Gremlins or Goonies? Is it even a question at this point? Oh, this is my second live stream, and I'm not stopping until I get more people in the movie lounge. We got to talk movies, guys. We stopped talking about movies, and I'm curious to know what everybody has to say. Can everybody hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me? Chat is especially slow for a Saturday. If you guys can give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Is this poll not working? I'm going to end this poll right now. I'm going to drop a new poll right now. I'm going to drop a poll right now. All right. Nobody voted on my Gremlins and Goonies post. So I'm really bummed about that. We're 8 minutes into the live stream. Interesting about what I caught about Eyes Wide Shut yesterday. I had a new take on it. And my son was watching it with me. And he says to me, he was pointing out things in the corners. He said something really interesting. He's like, Dad, he's like, you could probably just watch one corner of the screen for Kubrick, and you're going to notice something. Then for the next round, you could watch another corner of the screen. So I started doing that. And I've been doing that for Kubrick movies for quite some time, where around the screen, guys, welcome into the chat. My name is Michael. If you want to drop down below the poll, comments, questions, this is Michael's Movie Lounge. Movies, this is all we talk about. We talk about our love for film. So my son is telling me, look in the corners, Dad. Look in the corners. And I knew this a long time ago, but he was really like focusing on the corners. And lo and behold, if you see certain corners of the Kubrick films, we saw this. It was crazy. We saw this mailbox, this post office mailbox. And I mean, it had the word baby written on it. Now, I don't know if Kubrick was alluding to the fact that, like, is he selling babies? Is there a baby on the way? But this mailbox kept coming up in Eyes Wide Shut. I'm going to do a deep dive on that. But like, how did I never notice this before? Did you guys notice the mailbox? There's one outside the hotel. There's one outside the Rainbow Fashions. Did you guys notice this post office mailbox? Right? That's what you call it, like the big blue thing. It has the word baby written on it, and it comes up like 2 or 3 times in the film. It wasn't just the one thing random, Kubrick just put it there right in front of the hotel. It comes up later, and it comes up again, and it comes up again. I noticed it 3 times. So, do you believe Kubrick was showing as delivering a baby? Like, was someone pregnant? Because I have a deep dive on that with Mandy. I think Mandy was pregnant. Guys, welcome into the chat. My name is Michael. Guys, drop down below what you think. Dark Knight or Oppenheimer for top Nolan. Really curious to know. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. This is my second live stream. We had a great showing yesterday. I'm going to be going live every day until this channel blows up. I want 1,000 people watching me every single day talking about movies, right? So during this showing, we're seeing this mailbox, this post office mailbox. And it says the word baby on it. And knowing what I know about Kubrick, is it possible that someone was pregnant or was someone sending a baby away? Oh, we got one vote, guys. We got one Dark Knight vote. Guys, thank you so much for the vote. Dark Knight versus Oppenheimer. I mean, I get it. Drop your comments into the chat, guys. Drop your comments. I saw Eyes Wide Shut again last night for the umpteenth time, and I showed it to my son. Guys, take a vote. Let me know. Dark Knight or Oppenheimer for best Nolan. My name is Michael. I'm moving. That's why my shelves are bare, but I did buy these popcorn buckets. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. Drop your comments. What movies are you guys watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide last night. Probably going to watch The Godfather tonight. That's the game plan. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me? Because I want to make sure that you guys can hear everything I'm saying. I certainly hope you can. So anyway, I was watching Eyes Wide Shut with my son yesterday, and that was his first time experiencing Kubrick for real, right? And all of a sudden, he's pointing out all these things that I never noticed before. I highly recommend to watch a Kubrick film with someone who's never watched Kubrick before. I'm curious. So we have 2 votes for Dark Knight, none for Oppenheimer. Thanks for the like, guys. I appreciate it. Guys, my name is Michael, Movie Magic Michael. This is my live stream. I go live every day on YouTube. Second live stream ever. Guys, drop a comment. What are you watching this weekend? What are we watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide again last night, and I noticed some pretty insane details. Guys, drop what you're watching down below in the chat. 3 for Dark Knight, none for Oppenheimer. I'm not surprised. All right, so then, man, do I even bother with the next poll? Do I even bother with this next poll? I'm going to end this poll right now. I'm going to put a new poll in. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, I'm doing a best Burton Batman villain, okay? Is it okay? Nicholson's Joker or DeVito Penguin? Which one do you think, guys? Starting the poll right now. Guys, what movies are you watching this weekend? What movies you guys watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide Shut again last night with my son. All right, and can you give me a thumbs up that you guys can hear me? Because we got some people in the chat right now. There it is. Dandy Warhol. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Watch Eyes Wide Shut. If you watch it again tonight, look for the post office mailbox. Look for the post office mailbox. I've seen this movie 1,000 times. I'm exaggerating when I say that. And my God, there is a blue post office mailbox that keeps showing up. It's outside the hotel. It's outside Rainbow Fashions. It's outside where Bill is walking. And it says baby on it. It says baby on the mailbox. I want the chat to know. Chat, is this delivering a baby? Is someone going to be having a baby? Dandy Warhol, if you watch it this weekend, let me know. Do you think this is someone, a baby's coming, Well, actually, those mailboxes, you put things to go away. You don't collect mail at these mailboxes. So someone is giving their baby away. Oh my god. Oh my god, I need to do a deep dive on that. Holy cow. Dandy Warhol, you watching Eyes Wide tonight or tomorrow? What are we watching? So we have 1 vote for Nicholson, 2 votes for Nicholson, none for DeVito? I could have swore that Danny DeVito was gonna win. I'm shocked. Dandy tonight, love it. Oh, so you guys can hear me? Great. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, I watched it last night. I stayed up with my son. I was exhausted. I worked really hard yesterday, and we stayed up. We started Eyes Wide at, like, 11 o'clock at night, and we did all 2.5 hours of it. But, Dandy, look at the, what do you call? Look at the blue mailbox. Look at the blue post office mailbox. I was blown away. Freaked out. And I did notice another detail where I did a video on tigers in Eyes Wide Shut, where Domino's laying on bed and there's a stuffed tiger behind her. And then later on in the toy store, there's a wall full of tigers behind Alice. Guys, welcome into the chat. My name is Michael. Welcome into the live stream. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. Guys, drop in the chat. What are you guys watching tonight? Dandy Warhol's watching Eyes Wide Shut. I own Eyes Wide Shut, and I love that movie. So, guys, drop in the chat. What's everybody watching tonight? And vote on the best Burton Batman villain. Very surprised that 2 for Nicholson and none for DeVito. I would have voted for DeVito. The Burton's Penguin was like one of my favorite villains of all time. I did a deep dive on Burton's Penguin. Oswald Cobblepot, right? Oswald Cobblepot? Or is that Goonies? Am I getting my Oswalds mixed up? Guys, welcome into the chat. My name is Michael. What are you guys watching tonight? Saturday. Pretty much around the world. What's everybody watching tonight? Drop it in the comments below. I want to know what everybody's watching. I watched Eyes Wide Shut last night for the umpteenth time. And I noticed the baby on the post office mailbox. So somebody was shipping away their baby. There was no delivery. Somebody was delivering their baby, not having a baby. It was very clear that somebody was giving away their baby because you can't accept mail in this mailbox. You have to drop it in this mailbox and give it away. And it literally says baby like 4 times on 4 different mailboxes. Man, the genius of Kubrick. The absolute genius of Kubrick. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Guys, if you give me a like, follow, and a share, I'd really appreciate it. Want to join my Movie Magic membership? You're going to be able to see videos days before they arrive. And if you join producer credit, I'm going to name you in the videos, in some of my videos. What is everybody watching tonight? Saturday night. It's 4:07 on the East Coast. I don't know what angel number that is, but what's everybody watching tonight? Curious to know. All right, I'm ending this because Nicholson's Joker won, which makes no sense. I thought Danny DeVito would easily get at least 1 vote. I'm starting a new poll. You know, I'm going to start a Q&A. Starting a Q&A right now. Can you guys see that Q&A? What movie is everyone watching tonight? That's weird. Oh, you can jump between the live chats. Got it. This is cool. So what movie is everybody watching tonight? Curious to know. I don't know why it popped up 3 times, but it did. Sorry about that. Um, and yeah, so basically I did a video um, on the tigers, and I noticed that there was a tiger behind Domino, and then there was a wall of tigers behind Alice. And then my son and I were watching it. It was like midnight. I my eyes were like my eyes were wide shut. I was so tired. And all of a sudden, Raphael, Redbeard. Redbeard. Is that a film or a TV show? I don't know what Redbeard is. Interesting. Is that something in Eyes Wide Shut or that's what you're watching? Film. Is that new? Tell me about Redbeard. I'm curious. Sounds like an Kurosawa. Huh. I'm a big Kurosawa fan. I haven't heard of Redbeard. I've heard of Seven Samurai and Ran and Yojimbo, but I've not heard of Redbeard. I have to check that out. I'm assuming that's a really old one, right? Best movie? I'm in. I thank you for the recommendation, Raphael. I really appreciate that. That must be like an old one though, because I haven't heard of Redbeard. Eh, You know, if you're telling me I'm gonna love it, I appreciate that. All right, everybody tonight, try and go watch Redbeard per Raphael's recommendation. It's very cool. I love that I can get like recommendations from my chat, right? I love that like people can recommend a movie that I've never heard of. I hate those people, those influencers that think they freaking know everything, you know? And here's like Raphael coming in and saying, here's a Kurosawa movie you're going to love. I'm definitely going to check that out. Seven Samurai is my number one Kurosawa. Then probably I call it I think it's Yojimbo, but I don't, it could be Yojimbo. I think it's Yojimbo. But Redbeard, what's the gist? What's the elevator pitch, Raphael? Curious to know. I'm going to look up Redbeard. Mm. Love this. Japanese period drama, 1965, co-written, edited, and directed by Kurosawa. And that was his last collaboration with Mifune. The film looks at the problem of social injustice and explores two of Kurosawa's favorite topics, humanism and existentialism. Love this. Ikiru, they say it's reminiscent of Ikiru, which I loved. And it's his last black and white film. Got it. So that was more of like his later ones. Interesting. I have to check that out. Is it for rent or you could stream it somewhere? I love anything with Mifune. He's known who's Redbeard and a rough-tempered yet charitable town doctor and martial artist. In. Love it. Can't wait. I can't wait to check that out. Guys, what is everybody watching tonight? So if I end this poll, does that end the whole thing? Okay, so that just ended that chat. I'm dropping a new poll right now. I am gonna drop a new poll. Let's see the new poll. I'm gonna mess with everybody right now. All right, I'm gonna mess with everybody right now. Raphael, what do you think? Best trilogy? Curious to know. We should have done a Kurosawa poll. Maybe I'll do that next. I'll do a Kurosawa poll next. What is everybody watching? What is everybody watching this weekend? Really curious to know. I watched Eyes Wide last night. I'm probably gonna watch The Godfather tonight. And my kids have never seen Apocalypse Now. I know I'm a terrible father, but I really wanna watch Apocalypse Now. I actually this time of year, I always try to watch Passion of the Christ and Exodus: Gods and Kings. Has anyone seen Exodus: Gods and Kings with Christian Bale? Like one of the coolest movies, top tier Ridley Scott, didn't get enough love. The critics hated it. Ooh, we got a vote right here. One vote for Lord of the Rings. I mean, probably, yeah, of course. I'm gonna end this in a minute, and I wanna see what everyone thinks. Guys, drop your comments down below. What are you guys watching this weekend? Vote on the poll, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars? Is that kind of even a question? I mean, the newer stuff kinda, like, taints the old, if you will? Interesting. Very interesting. So, anyway, whoa, we got a 50-50 split right now. One Lord of the Rings, one Star Wars. Guys, my name is Michael, Movie Magic Michael. Rusty. Rusty, what are you laughing at, bro? Rusty, welcome in. Rusty Shackelford, 4093. Really appreciate you joining me, brother. So anyway, I keep getting off on a tangent. 50-50, right? Lord of the Rings or OG Star Wars. I watched Empire again last Saturday night and I noticed 10 more things that I never saw before. Rusty, thank you, brother. Great content following you on all platforms. Rusty, love you, man. Thank you so, so much. It's people like you that make me want to do this every single day, right? Bring back the conversation of movies, talk about movies again. We stopped talking about films. I have no idea why. And this is my second live stream ever on YouTube. And I'm not stopping until let's see it right here, until there's 1,000 people watching. I want 1,000 people watching. I'm manifesting that right now. I appreciate you, Rusty. Rusty, what content do you like the most? Are you like the Eyes Wide fan? Do you like the Shining stuff? Are you into like the Star Wars, Goonies, the Joker stuff? What's the where do you want me to take my channel? Everybody wants Kubrick. Everybody I know wants more Kubrick, and I feel like I have so much more to talk about with Stanley Kubrick. Anything Kubrick, Rusty nailed it, bro. 100%. Um, again, I don't know how late you got into the chat. Rusty, thank you. The Eyes Wide Shut stuff was so good. Space Odyssey, epic. Hell yeah, dude. Maybe I gotta show Space Odyssey to my kids. I watched Eyes Wide Shut with my son last night. It was his first time. It was his first time. I his Eyes Wide Shut cherry was popped. Um, he was pointing out 10 more things, 30 more things that I never noticed before. Never. There's a mailbox that appears 4 times with the word baby on it. And I said to myself, are they delivering a baby? Like, is a baby being delivered or are they sending a baby away? Right. And then I said to myself, my God, there's a post office blue mailbox that has the word baby on it. You don't collect mail from this mailbox. You you put mail into it and you ship it away. Was Kubrick saying that there's a baby that's being shipped off? I hate that conspiracy because I know it's like such a Joe Rogan type conspiracy, but like, is that what happened in the end? Where they were shipping their baby off? They were sending their baby away at the very end? Drop your comments down below, guys. I don't want to believe it. I mean, they were pretty fucked up, Alice and Bill. They were like kind of messed up, especially Alice, who was like the worst person in the world. But I don't know. Do you think they shipped the kid away at the end? Do you think they did? It says baby on a mailbox, on a post office mailbox. I really hope it's not the case. Rusty says, "That always seemed to be a stretch to me, but it's growing on me." Bro, same. And who knows what plot points were contained in the cut content. I never heard that there was an alternate version. I've heard the conspiracies about it, but I've never, A, physically seen that there was an interview with someone saying there's an alternative version. I don't wanna believe it. I wanna believe that was Kubrick's final version, but someone also said that there was a narration, and I don't think it woulda held up well during the film. I like the mystique. I like the mystique of what this version was, the mainstream Eyes Wide version was. But I don't know, I don't wanna believe that there was an uncut version. Where does everyone hear that? Was that on Joe Rogan? And I feel like it is growing on me too, Rusty, because Kubrick plants shipping a baby away on a mailbox. And there's something above it too. There's like, you see the BABY. It could also say daddy, DADDY on the mailbox, but I don't know. I don't know. To me, it was clear as day that it said baby. Can I share my screen here? I'm gonna have to figure that out on one live stream. All right, I'm ending this poll because Lord of the Rings and Star Wars is tied, which is just nuts to even think about. I'm gonna start a new poll. Kubrick poll. I have a better one. Was there an Eyes Wide Shut? Is there an Eyes Wide Shut edit that we can't see? Starting the poll right now. Yes or no? Is there an Eyes Wide Shut edit that we just don't know about? I don't think so. I truly have no idea. And I don't know if there's been like who said that? Who said that there was a special Eyes Wide Shut video? Guys, welcome to my second live chat ever. My name is Michael, where I do deep dives into the greatest movies ever made. And we're talking Kubrick. Somehow this second live started in with Kubrick and how I watched it again last night. I watched Eyes Wide Shut again last night, and there was 20 more things that I never noticed before. And I watched it with my son, who pointed out 20 more things. And he was analyzing every freaking scene with me. The baby stuff really freaked me out. The baby on the mailbox was this blue color. If you see it, DM me. DM me. Is this not the poll that everybody wants? Rusty says, can't remember where I first heard it. May have been Rogan, but surely something had to be left on the editing room floor. It didn't feel cohesive enough. Rusty says perhaps some of the topics were too taboo. I mean, I'm sure people were really, yeah, I'm sure the studio was freaked out by it. But like like I write movies, right? I'm a screenwriter, I'm an author. And like the scripts are read thousands of times. And they're read and they're read and they're read and they're edited and they're read. You're telling me that Kubrick wrote it? He wrote the script along with another dude. I don't remember the guy's name. And no one said anything? No one said, "You can't do this"? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't I'm a screenwriter, and the first draft of my script for Pokergeist, which was 15 years ago, was altered 5,000 times. You're telling me that they allowed him to shoot whatever the hell he wanted? That's what I'm saying, Rusty. I feel like what we saw is the final version, and he kept it so cryptic. Because there's no way. I mean, you have to send dailies to the producers. I don't believe it. I don't believe that there was this psychotic, creepy, crazy version that they had to re-edit. It's just not gelling for me. I don't buy it, and I think it's a conspiracy theory, the way they all say that, Kubrick filmed the moon landing and he made the Apollo sweater in The Shining, Danny, Apollo 11 on Danny's sweater, and I looked at it like Danny had the god Apollo's powers. The god Apollo is the god of foresight, protection of the young, seeing things and acting in accordance, knowing what the future is gonna hold. That's Apollo's powers. And that's how Danny acted in The Shining. It's about the moon landing. It's it's some conspiracy nut. And I'm starting to feel that that's the same thing with Eyes Wide, is that he didn't he didn't there were no there was no missing 25 minutes. There was no missing unedited cut. There really was no narrator. It doesn't add up for me. For me, I think what you see on the film is what you get. And it's about a deep thing about how lust, and my son got this, how a couple is destroyed by what they think the other person truly believes. And I think that's what the bottom line theme is of Eyes Wide Shut. I think they didn't leave anything out in the mansion. The ending though, with the daughter, I always believed, she doesn't really walk off with these guys, but now I'm starting to believe that when I saw the baby on the mailbox, where it literally says baby across this blue mailbox, post office mailbox, I'm starting to think, and keeps coming. It keeps populating. I'm starting to believe that they were delivering a baby, or Mandy was going to deliver the baby, right? And that's why that she wanted out. She was willing to sacrifice herself for Bill to get out of this cult, if you will, the elite, to be this prostitute for the elite. Guys, welcome into the chat. Welcome into the channel. My name is Michael. What's everybody watching this weekend? Drop it down below. Raphael is watching Redbeard. Rusty, what are you watching this weekend, dude? Anything Kubrick? What's everybody else watching, guys? Drop a comment down below. This is my second ever live stream. I'm going to go live on YouTube every single day until I have 1,000 people watching me. 1,000 people, at least. This is Michael's Movie Lounge. I want to talk about movies. Oh, we got to vote in. Do we get a vote? No? I agree with that. No, I don't think there's an edit that we haven't seen. I agree with that. I think that the edit we saw in the film was the final version. I think that's just some conspiracy bullshit. That I think it's not true. I don't see it as true. I watched it again last night, and I think Kubrick left 10,000 things that we can all pick apart. I don't think he needed to leave something that was cut completely, because in the end, it was an interpretive film. And in the same way that Tarantino, you open the suitcase, what's in the Pulp Fiction suitcase? That's everybody's movie, right? That's everyone's own individual film. And I think that's the genius of someone like a Tarantino or even a Kubrick. I don't believe there's an edited cut. I don't think I want to believe it. Guys, what do you think? Drop your comments down below. Drop your comments in the chat. Guys, welcome in. What is everybody watching this weekend? What's everybody watching this weekend? I watched Eyes Wide again last night. Probably gonna watch The Godfather tonight. My children have never seen The Godfather. I know I'm a terrible, terrible father. I'm also due for a Dark Knight Rises. No, I watched Dark Knight Rises lately. I'm due for a Dark Knight rewatch with Heath. I'm doing a ton. I did Empire Strikes Back last weekend. I'm also due for a Ghostbusters rewatch. And I saw Sinners lately. It was good. 16 nominations though, beating out like Gone with the Wind and shit. I don't, not that good. And Fire and Ash also just came out. Francie Murphy, would you consider giving your opinion on Quentin Tarantino's A Hateful Eight? My apologies if I missed it. Also, the movie Snatch. Okay. Francie, I'm reading your name, right? Right? Yeah, Francie. This my eyes are really good, but the font for YouTube is so freaking small. Francie, loved Hateful Eight. I love the Hateful Eight. I liked the Hateful Eight. Francie, yes. I like the Hateful Eight, and what I liked about the Hateful Eight is that Tarantino was trying to do something non-linear again, right? And it was a murder mystery, if you will. It was his Knives Out. It was his, and I'm not comparing him to Knives Out, so don't put that in the same category, but it was his murder mystery. What I loved about the Hateful Eight was the coffee pot, and that Tarantino kept going back to the coffee pot. And I was wondering, like, why a coffee pot? What's the point of this coffee pot? And obviously, no spoilers. I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't seen The Hateful Eight, go watch The Hateful Eight. But the idea is that everyone congregates around this warmth, but there's nothing warm there in Minnie's haberdashery. I did a post on this. I did a video on Hateful Eight on my channel. It's probably on my Instagram. Scroll down on my Insta. And it's also, I believe, on my TikTok. I don't think YouTube picked it up. I could be on my YouTube Shorts, but sometimes YouTube Shorts blocks me. I don't know why. But YouTube Shorts sometimes blocks my videos. Like I did a video yesterday for the Joker scars, and it went gangbusters on all my social media. YouTube Shorts wouldn't pick it up. No idea. But Tarantino's Hateful Eight, it's not my favorite Tarantino, right? My favorite Tarantino is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then probably Inglorious, then probably Kill Bill, maybe Pulp Fiction switches on and off. But Hateful Eight is, and it's not a bad movie by any stretch of the means, but the idea that like the Hateful Eight, which I don't believe is Tarantino's best movie. So Tarantino's worst movie is still someone's best movie. Does that make sense? As bad as Hateful Eight was in Tarantino standards, like I thought Death Proof was better than Hateful Eight. I loved Death Proof in my top 5 Tarantino. And no apologies, Francie. Like we're talking here. This is a movie club hangout. This is anything goes here. Anything you want to talk about movies, this is what I am going to promote on YouTube. Michael's Movie Lounge. I want everyone to be at home here. Kick your shoes off. Talk about movies. And no one's right and no one's wrong. Everybody's right and everybody's wrong. My opinion on the Hateful Eight could mean something completely different from your opinion. But it's not my favorite Tarantino. I liked it and I loved the script. I read the script before I watched the movie. And Snatch. Top tier Guy Ritchie. I mean, top tier Guy Ritchie. And I will tell you this. I am a movie influencer. As crazy as that may sound. Snatch, when I did a video on Snatch, and I did to scroll down my page, I think that one hit YouTube. So you could scroll my YouTube shorts. It's also on my Instagram and also on my TikTok. Man, everyone loves Snatch. Everybody loves Snatch. Everybody. It's like Snatch can do no wrong. Same thing with Fight Club. Like people who like if I do a Fight Club video, it does very, very well. Obviously not as good as my Eyes Wide videos. And people love Prometheus. There's some haters for Prometheus, which I personally don't get. I love Prometheus. Francie, what about the dialogue? And I fell in love with the soundtrack. Are you referring to Snatch or Hateful Eight? I'm assuming you mean Snatch. It's just a chaotic mess, that film. And I guess that's the point. That everything in Snatch isn't meant to be cohesive. It's supposed to be just a scrambled mind fuck of a film. And I think Guy Ritchie does a really good job at that. I do like more of the mainstream Guy Ritchie films. Francie, my ex-husband is a dead ringer for Brad Pitt. I mean, good for you, Francie. If you're married to a Brad Pitt lookalike, I mean, that's incredible. Good, amazing. Good on you. My wife would probably be very happy about that. I'm no Brad Pitt lookalike, but I go more on personality, if you will. I know I'm not fugly, but well, all right. So let me ask you a question, Francie. Which Brad Pitt? Uh, um, Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt, Fight Club, Brad Pitt, 12 Monkeys, Brad Pitt, World War Z, Brad Pitt. Which Brad Pitt does your husband look like? I mean, Brad Pitt has many looks, or just like OG, like Brad Pitt hanging out in New York City. Francie, he reminds me of his character in Snatch. Okay, so that's kind of like scummy, sleazy Brad Pitt. I don't know if you're calling, I don't mean to call your ex-husband scummy or sleazy, but that was kind of like the Brad Pitt that was in, that was kind of in Snatch. That's interesting, Francie. That's very interesting. Does anyone else's husband look like Brad Pitt? I mean, my wife thinks I look like George Clooney when I'm dressed up. And some people say I look like Jason Bateman, but not in this lighting. Or I just look like myself. My son looks like Timothy Chalamet, though, which is kind of cool. I wish I kind of look like Timothy Chalamet, but who cares, right? You're looking down the road at 50, and it's like, oh, whatever. Who cares? Interesting vote. Interesting poll. I did a poll. Is there an Eyes Wide Shut edit that we can't see? And I got three no's. I agree with this. I 100% agree with this. I'm going to start a new poll. It was a really good poll. Francie said, I told him he should go to Hollywood and be a stunt double or just doppelganger. I mean, Brad Pitt stunt double. That's a cool, that's a really cool, cool job. Yeah, I'm Brad Pitt stunt double. I said that in a few of my videos. I did a video for F1 and I said, Brad Pitt, my stunt double. So that's really funny. I'm starting a new poll. Let's do best Brad Pitt. I'm going to go my top movies, Snatch or Once Upon a Time. In Hollywood, you're laughing, Francie. I'm curious to know about this poll right here. Best Brad Pitt, Snatch or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is an interesting poll. Very interesting poll right here. You see, like everyone's jumping on Snatch right now, but for me, I feel like I'd be voting on Once Upon a Time. I'd be voting Once Upon a Time, but then like put it up against, I don't know, 12 Monkeys, Fight Club, Brad Pitt. So far, Snatch is at 1. Very interesting. What's everybody watching tonight? I feel like I should watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm due for like a Tarantino run. Like I've been so involved with Kubrick. I feel like I need like a what do you call? Everyone's telling me about Hateful Eight. Maybe I got to rewatch a Hateful Eight. I don't know. Like I did Eyes Wide last night. I was thinking of Godfather tonight because my son's never seen The Godfather and I want to show it to him. I watched Apocalypse Now a few weeks ago. Blues Brothers could be on the docket. Everybody wants me to watch Midsummer again, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to watch that movie again. Rusty says, I haven't seen Once Upon a Time. Maybe tonight is the night. Rusty. Rusty, do you trust me, bro? Do you trust me? You trust movie magic, Michael? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my number one Tarantino. Like, it was Inglorious Bastards forever, but I 100% you have to watch. You must watch Once Upon. Don't rent it either. This is a movie that you will watch 2, 3 times a year, in my opinion. In my opinion, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Thank you so much for the smileys. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Guys, if you could hit follow, like, share, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Rusty, let me know. I'm going to be live again tomorrow. Let me know what you think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's my number one Tarantino. Francie says, are you a screenwriter? Yes, I am. It's hard to write dialogue. Francie, the dialogue, you can't write dialogue. I mean this. I wholeheartedly mean this. As a screenwriter, as a entertainment screenwriter, Hollywood screenwriter, 2 of my scripts right now are in the process of being packaged by big producers, really big producers. And having this movie army behind me is only going to take off on that rocket, right? With this movie army behind me, I'm bringing back the conversation of movies. I'm bringing back the idea of good films again. And with this movie army, with me live streaming, with me being on TikTok and Instagram and talking about films, Francie, thank you so much. Yes. I feel like we're going to bring back films again, right? And in order to write good dialogue, the characters have to tell you what to say. You can't be writing the dialogue. It's a meditative state. And I know that sounds like a little weird. I don't want you to think I'm a weirdo. All right. But writing dialogue, you have to come up with your character and they're going to tell you what to say every time. Every single time. That's how you write. That's how you write good dialogue. You're welcome, Francie. These characters all exist. When I wrote Monsterland, I wrote a 4-book series called Monsterland. It's available everywhere books are sold, by the way. I appreciate you, Francie. Thank you. And when I was writing their dialogue, it was part of my subconscious. And you know things are good. Thank you for the likes and shares, guys. Thank you for the hearts. I really, really appreciate it. We got a 50-50 split Once Upon a Time in Snatch. That's pretty crazy. Guys, thank you for the likes, shares, and follows. If you guys could like, subscribe, and follow my channel, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps the channel grow. It really, really helps the channel grow. And I'm just getting started. This is only my second live on YouTube. And I love talking to you guys. We're bringing the conversation of movies back, right? And you guys are my OGs. You guys are starting with, I have 4 people watching right now. We were up to 6 at one point. But if you guys can like, follow, and share, I'd really, really gratefully appreciate it. The dialogue will come naturally because it all exists already. You're just pulling that out from your subconscious. And that's where I get all spiritual with my stuff, right? The first book I ever wrote was a book called Just Ask the Universe. And it's about manifesting your dreams. And when I sat down to write my characters, I've been writing since I'm 15 years old. And then I started really writing screenplays in college. And when I was writing these scripts, these characters were just another version of me. It was these conversations I had in my head as a kid. Dawn, thank you so much. Yeah, no, I'm going to be live every day until there's 1,000 people watching me talking about movies. I'm going to be live every single day on YouTube. I'm going all in on YouTube. I'm taking what I've learned from TikTok and Instagram, and I'm going to be live streaming every day. And I'm moving. I'm in the process of moving from New York to Florida. So I apologize if my shelves are bare. Francie, would you consider doing a formal lecture on your thoughts about your career? I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I love talking and helping people and now seeing the huge, monstrous benefits of social media. Francie, thank you. Seeing the huge, monstrous benefits of social media, there's no excuse anymore to not be on it. And I was anti-social media for the longest time. I had about 9,000 followers on Instagram. It really didn't grow anymore. It was really for my books, right? I was promoting my screenwriting and books. And what happened was is that my brother started reading tarot cards. He's really spiritual, my brother, and he started reading tarot, and all of a sudden, he's like, "You gotta start getting on social." I'm like, "What am I gonna talk about? My books and screenplays or how bad I am at golf?" And then all of a sudden, he's like, "No, how would you talk to your manager about selling a script?" You know? And this is a little bit of a story. So my manager, I once had to pitch him my book series, Monsterland. And it's about a theme park with werewolves, vampires, and zombies. It's like Jurassic Park, but with monsters. And it's a 4-book series. I have like 4 books right here. It's a 4-book series, and it was like the greatest experience to write. It was like Goonies meets Jurassic Park. And what happened is I was sitting with him at a diner in LA, and he's like, "All right, Michael." His name is John. He's like, "All right, Michael, pitch me Monsterland." I said, "Well, John, it's about this, about this kid who, goes to, who gets who has a crush, and he gets invited to this theme park, and he's going, no, 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 no." I go, "What do you mean, John?" He's like, "What's Monsterland about?" I go, "Well, it's about this kid who's, trying to save his date in a theme park that has real werewolves, vampires, and zombies." He's going, "No, no, 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 no." And I go, "What do you want to hear, John?" And he says, "Michael, what is Monsterland about?" And I go, "Monsterland is about grief." And he said, "You got it. You got it. That's storytelling." And once I learned that lesson, and I told him it's about grief, about this boy getting over the death of his father and learning to have a new relationship. Dawn, thank you. Dawn loves couture. Love that name. I need to read that. Sounds really good. And it's not because I'm talking about my own work. It's like someone who loves his own cooking. The book Monsterland, the book series Monsterland. It's available on Amazon. Monsterland. And it's pretty far along in the screenwriting process. There's big stuff going on with Monsterland right now. And once I started doing that, my brother goes, "Talk to the audience the way you would talk to your manager." And I did. And I got on one of my first videos I did, and I just started doing this in September of 2025. I got on and I talked about the USS Indianapolis speech from Jaws. How about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's got 3 votes. Let's go. Let's go. I'm probably gonna watch that tonight, guys. Once I started talking about the meaning of movies, it just skyrocketed. It just took off. And I started posting on TikTok every day about the deep meaning of film. And I'm a student of the occult. I'm a student of the Kabbalah. I love that stuff. I'm not a practitioner. I just love reading about it. I love learning about new ideas and ancient religions and what was life like before Jesus. And like I don't talk about religion at all, but I talk about what life was like you know, before there was God, right? And once you start learning about these things, about different cultures, I mean, the masters put it on in all their movies. The masters put it in all their movies. Kubrick, George Lucas, all those guys, all the symbolism is there. All the symbolism is there right in front of our faces, but we have to, pardon me, we have to open our eyes to see it. Dawn, I have a channel where I talk about handbags and luxury goods, but I've been a cinephile for many years. Love it, Dawn. Love it, Dawn. Thank you. Thank you. Dawn, if you have a channel, just curiosity, is it just on YouTube? And if it is, drop it in the comments. Let's promote it a little bit. Drop your channel down below. Everybody go follow Dawn. I'm all for, one for all for one. So Dawn, drop it down below. Movies are life, and movies are everything. Rusty says your Space Odyssey Kabbalah breakdown is what hooked me. Hell yeah, dude. Hell to the mother effing yeah. That is just seeing the tree of life alignment It blows your mind to know what Kubrick really knew, you know? And the people, like, who are like, "Ah, Kubrick didn't have," it was coincidence. They don't know shit, dude. They don't know anything. They don't know jack shit. The masters leave you the answers. The masters will teach you the answers, and it's all in movies. Dawn, I hope you've seen The Wicker Man. 100%. Love The Wicker Man. That was with Kevin Bacon, right? And I think there was a remake. Dawn, my username is Dawn KVESV. YouTube makes the font so small, and I have great eyesight, but it's so freaking small. Everybody go follow my buddy Dawn. She does handbags. And Dawn, if you're not, Dawn loves couture. Love it. Everybody go follow Dawn. I got to tell you, Dawn, if you're just on YouTube, you got to get on Insta and you got to get on TikTok. All these multimedia, these social media platforms are phenomenal. I have nothing negative to say about any of these platforms. They have grown my life in ways that are immeasurable, and I'm literally just starting out. Dawn, Kubrick plans everything 100%. 100%. Kubrick never did anything that was arbitrary, right? We're at the 1 hour mark, guys. I'm going to start a new poll. I'm having too much fun with you guys. All right. Kubrick spiritual. Kubrick. All right. This is a good one. Okay. Kubrick's most spiritual movie. Okay. Kubrick's most spiritual movie. (2001) or Clockwork. Interesting poll. Kubrick does plan everything, Dawn, 100%. Dawn says, not the Nicolas Cage remake. Right. The original with Christopher Lee. Yes, I have seen it. I saw that in my film appreciation class in high school. It was the last time I saw it. It's only been 5 years, Dawn. No, I'm just kidding. It's been a little longer than that. Dawn, social media is great when used right. Exactly. Well, I'm using my social media right. The outpouring of love from people who love film has been the greatest experience. Guys, we got 8 people in the chat. Welcome into my channel, everybody. My name is Michael, Movie Magic Michael on YouTube and across all my social media handles. This is my movie lounge, and I go live every single day on YouTube. This is my second time. I'm going to be going live every single day until I hit 1,000 people. Then I'm going to be going live all day. And my shelves are empty, by the way, because I am moving. I'm leaving New York. So I apologize about the kind of non-decorative background of mine. But we're having a nice chat tonight, guys. It's Saturday night. I want to know what everybody's watching tonight. And yeah, everyone's really kind. You get a few haters that, get angry with your movie things, your movie ideas, but like they come off so stupid. They come out, what those guys who are like, "You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You don't know anything about movies." And it's like one kid on the playground who's making fun of all the 20 kids who are having the best time. Right? That one kid is going, "You're an idiot. You're stupid. You don't know anything." And there's 20 of us just having the time of our life. And that's what I look at as like the haters. They're idiots. And they're the ones kind of making fun of themselves. Dawn says, I just watched The Good Boy. Jan Thomas directed, many Clockwork influences. I haven't seen The Good Boy. Very interesting. Francie, Clockwork is a cult classic. I agree. That I grew up on being said 2001 was gripping. Yes. Oh, hello, Hallie Oaken. Welcome into the chat. Francie Murphy, Clockwork is a cult. Yeah, it's a cult classic. I love Clockwork Orange. I tried showing my kids Clockwork and they weren't having it. They weren't into it. Rusty, I don't think I've watched Clockwork with a spirituality lens. Try it, though. Have you done a video on this? Yes. Yes. There are so many deeper themes to Clockwork, right? Morality, good and bad. People don't even watch 2001 with a spiritual lens. and it's a shame. They go, "No, no, it's just about, it's your phone." The what do you call is your phone? The monolith. And it's not. I mean, they could be right, but someone once said that online and they just run with it. To me, the monolith is this, it's the all knowing, it's the consciousness, it's the leveling up of humanity because every time you see the monolith, humanity levels up. It shifts higher. Rusty, check out Clockwork as a spiritual angle. I have covered it in my videos. Not a lot, because what's a Clockwork Orange, right? What is the name of Clockwork Orange? It's something that's sweet on the outside, but mechanical in the center. It's very Carl Jungian. Francie, did your kids see The Matrix, Snatch, or True Romance? So, my daughter's 13 and she wouldn't watch any of those movies. My daughter wants to see The Godfather and Eyes Wide Shut, which I'm very proud of her for that. And we're gonna watch that. But The Matrix, I watched that with my son. He was a little bored by it, but he was also very young. He was very young. Snatch, I have not showed my kids Snatch. I will. True Romance, I don't think I would waste a True Romance viewing yet. I think I would start if we were gonna do a Tarantino, because I think True Romance is Tarantino. To me, it's not so much Ridley Scott or Tony Scott. I think Tony Scott directed True Romance. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Ridley Scott or Tony Scott? I think it was Tony. Um, if I were gonna start on a Tarantino deep dive, I wouldn't start with True Romance. I'd start with Reservoir Dogs. That would be my first. If I, and I've shown my kids Kill Bill 1 and 2, and they were obsessed. But I feel like if I had to go through like all 9 of his films, I would start with Reservoir Dogs first. I'd probably put True Romance somewhere after maybe Jackie Brown as like viewing. But I feel like my daughter's ready to watch The Matrix. I mean, I love The Matrix. I haven't seen it in a minute. That's one movie. And surprisingly, my Matrix posts don't do well. My Matrix posts, The Matrix, in my opinion, is a Gnostic gospel, but they don't do great. Everybody wants Kubrick. Even my Spielberg posts don't do huge. Everybody wants Kubrick, Fight Club, Prometheus, the really deep stuff. And I don't know. I feel like Matrix, everyone looks at as like a surface level film. They call it a documentary. But 4 votes. Everyone chose 2001. I mean, I kind of knew that. Francie said my son was 16 when he was 19 when he watched Snatch and Fight Club. I saw Fight Club with my buddy of mine, who's now my neighbor actually, in college. And I remember loving it. I remember wanting to start my own Fight Club in college. That was so much fun. So nobody voted for Clockwork. That was 4 2001 votes. I'm going to end that poll. Well, guys, that is it. I'm going to conclude right now. Guys, that was a cool live. Start a little soft in the beginning. It was a little, 10, 15 minutes of little quietness, but you guys really pumped it up. I appreciate you guys. And I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm going to be live on again tomorrow. No doubt. No doubt. Love YouTube. Love you guys. Guys, please don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and please share my video. Rusty, thank you so much, man. Really, truly, thank you. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm going to be live every single day. This is exciting stuff. I appreciate you guys. Please go follow my channel. Go check it out. Movie Magic Michael on TikTok, YouTube, and I am Michael Oken on Instagram. Guys, enjoy your Saturday night. Go watch those movies.